during during Sunday, and then before then I got in like a couple of games before then as well, on Saturday, and obviously games before then too. Every day basically. So every day I've been basically playing just any only, focusing on those two things,
Looks
and that's
good.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes your CS per
Um.
minute is still a bit low.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah.
That definitely is true. I think a lot of it comes down to, there's obviously a lot of factors at play. I think it's partly because I'm getting into fights. Um, some of it is actually because I miss CS that I should have gotten. Like sometimes I do miss a bit of CS. Happens. I think as time goes on,
Sometimes a
it
lot of
becomes,
CS.
no, definitely. Um, and actually there was like a couple of games before where I was like just limit testing. I was
Uh-huh.
just like focusing only on like just what I was trying to do is like I was trying to amp up my aggression because I feel like I was not pressuring as much as I could have.
Hmm.
So I tried to just play some games where I obviously lost those games, but I focused intently on just as much as possible pressuring every minion.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
that obviously led to me obviously tunnel visioning on just that aspect, but that's
Yeah.
fine because I knew that obviously I will lose those games, but
Yeah.
that's a fine trade-off because I will then be able to really, really see like how much pressure I can actually exert, and then after
That
that
makes
I just
sense.
kind of, and then I kind of went back to just playing like standard, just playing good with the wave, pressuring when it makes sense to pressure, and sometimes like giving up a bit of opportunities if I see that maybe the wave is like in too bad of a spot and I want to let it bounce into the like
Hmm.
the middle section of the lane before I really start to like let loose with the pressure.
Yeah.
I've been trying to follow the box model basically. I think
Yeah.
Docs
Yeah.
Talks showed it in one of the channels, like the
Yeah.
image of like how where you want to do each type of like wave control
Yeah.
aspect.
He's been working on some type of like small documents surrounding stage stuff through Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is pretty fun. I'm definitely
Yes.
supportive of what he's doing. It's like
Yeah.
on one hand, it's like a bit of a shame because I was gonna do that, but at the same time, I also know that like if I was gonna be the one doing it, it would take ages. So I'm I'm satisfied with him doing it.
You're like, you are offloading some of the work of yourself
Yeah,
onto other
yeah, yeah,
people.
you can say it like that. Definitely, definitely. I mean, it's like
You can stop for a bit.
there is
Here you go, by the way.
okay, perfect. There
Yes.
is a script already for like uh there's a very long script running stage one that is very very comprehensive surrounding like pretty much everything, and
Oh
even
yeah.
even that is not comprehensive enough. So yeah,
Holy shit.
it's so difficult to like write down everything you go through in a session, just like every possible thing, because like in the beginning you already like need this like huge introduction towards like what the fuck we're doing, you know.
And then it's like, we don't have enough time. Okay, see you next time.
Unironically, like with some sessions, like it will take really long to just get down. Like mainly talking for like enjoyment
And
type students, right? Like I think we've discussed
yeah,
this type of stuff before.
yes, yes.
Yeah, with enjoyment type students, like very often it'll like a majority of the session will just be focused on that, on like the fact that their enjoyment type or like never like it's important to never really be like, oh yeah, you're an enjoyment type student, that means this and this. It's always important to be like,
Right.
oh, you should be doing this and this, however if you don't enjoy it, then do this and this and this, and then you really like reinforce
Yeah,
it and give them like a solid idea of what they're doing and blah blah blah,
yeah,
which is why
yeah.
yeah.
That is true. Yes.
So like if it was gonna be public, like content for the public, there would need to be like at least a 30-minute video or something explaining the process and enjoyment versus improvement about like, you know,
Yeah, because you gotta weed
everything
that out.
surrounding it. Yeah, kinda, but at the same time, like it's a really positive video surrounding like for the community, I guess. It's one of those things that like if I'd
I
like,
have a question though.
yeah, go ahead.
I have a question though.
Yeah,
Sorry that I interrupted you.
no, it's fine.
But the way that I see it, maybe perhaps it would be more advantageous, like less. It would be less like involved if you would split it up into two different videos. You would have like an intro video
Mm-hmm.
discerning between enjoyment type
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
like.
yeah, that's what I was. That's what I meant. Like, was pointing towards. Definitely.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you meant all in one video,
Yeah,
like.
no, no, that was my first idea, and I very quickly found out that was not gonna work. I mean, we've like even like with talks with like other people who like know way more about like editing videos than I do. Although we have like very big creative differences, which does not help. Okay,
What editing software do you use?
I don't like. I'm not gonna be the one editing. Like, yeah, like that is not gonna be me. Okay,
There
wait.
is DaVinci Resolve. It's free. Like if you if you ever
I
want to
mean,
look at it. But
like I have zero ideas surrounding editing, and the amount of hours I need to put into it to like get results out of it is not something I'm interested in doing. So that's kind of why I also wouldn't like actively make videos because it's just like not something I enjoy. Unfortunately, like the only thing I would do different maybe is like if I had like a solid PC, I'd probably like do some streams every so often,
yeah,
and that would be like an easy way to get like decent educational content out there. It's not like the full form like you'd really like ideally want, but it's something, you know.
yeah. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Okay. Let's focus on the game instead.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, like that
Oh.
stage one video, I was like, okay, this is gonna be a long one, and then they were like, yeah, what you've written here is like 3 videos. I'm like, uh.
Ah, ah, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And then you gotta record it, and then you gotta
Yeah,
edit
no,
it,
no,
and
no.
you gotta
When I
like.
heard that, I was like, okay, like that's not gonna be able to be like a reasonable time period for me. So I just like from that, like I will probably make a stage two document somewhere in the future, just like for personal slash educational for like coaches, right? Not necessarily for the students. You really want to like be ahead here, by the way. Like notice how that was a very good trade. Notice how like into level two, that Ari is kinda no, it's fine actually. It looked way worse than it is. Now it's really good. Oh, that Q I don't like. Like you don't want to like pressure for no reason, right? Like you want to pressure
Yeah,
for a good reason, right? Like that
yeah.
right there. That Q obviously doesn't make sense. You want to move into your opponent. Here you're gonna hit too soon, so you want to just run at her. Hell yeah.
Come on, yes.
Yes. Oh, I don't like that W too much. You'll probably see in a very short bit. Oh wow, thanks Ari. Really appreciate how you just like use the Q on the wave for no reason. Great. Don't like that Q too much. It doesn't do a lot. Yeah, now you really want to be like in positions where you can punish CS here. By the way, this lane stay is why like that W earlier was so bad.
Yes.
By the way, tell me if I'm going
I
too fast because I'm going through stuff really fast here.
Yes, yes, yes. By the way, when are the mentees coming?
I messaged them and they haven't responded, so I don't know.
Okay, okay. Well, then we can just
Yeah, like
continue then.
we
I
can
guess.
we can just like continue. It's like at this point, you know, like it's like
So
10 minutes later, so yeah.
I have a question though.
Uh-huh.
This is just um. So basically, I don't know if this is just I don't know if I'm just talking out of my ass or something, but I think that at certain there's like a timing, a specific game time where like if you can kill the wave, the enemy wave before that timing, it will guaranteed basically almost always go under turrets.
Yeah.
And I think for mid, that timing is around like X19 and X49, like because every 30 seconds a new wave spawns. I think X19 or something like that.
Okay.
Um, because if you kill the wave before then, no matter the wave state, I think the obviously if you can kill it within a reasonable amount of time before, then obviously they'll basically guarantee it. I think. But yes, no, that was just something that I was testing in practice tool, and I figured out that that seemed to be the case. I don't know if that is true.
Yeah, you really want
Um,
to be careful with stuff like that in real games.
yes. So, but yeah, no, I think so. What you're saying is basically I should have kept it in the middle
Yeah, yeah,
because
there's no reason for you to like move into crashing,
yes, okay,
right? Like because if it's crash, then you get the situation where Ari
yeah,
is safe in a tower, right?
yeah, yeah,
Like that Ari Q doesn't make sense there. You missed a like Q there, which you like
yeah.
managed to get anyways. By the way, like the reason for you being able to like get the shove more was because of your Q, the minions aggroed on you, which like essentially gave your
Uh,
minions like 1 to 2 extra auto attacks. Which is also
yeah.
why you want to be a bit careful with trading on wave one, because it's very easy to like mess up how ahead you are, right? And here,
Ah, wait. So if I understand what you're saying, I need to be more cautious with how I trade
yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
wave one.
Because like if you kind of see, like I
Mm.
think we're even now, or like we're one auto attack ahead, one auto attack ahead, two ahead, and now we're one ahead again. However, if you look at what all the minions will do, they'll all aggro you with like a full round of attacks,
Mm.
right? And meanwhile,
And
the
this is
enemy minions
basically
are
like
still they're still the enemy minions are still getting hit, right?
yeah, yeah.
So because of this queue, you're not only one auto attack ahead, you will become like from this, you see like all of a sudden this difference, right? We went from one auto attack ahead until like this is like one,
Five.
two. I think this is like close to four, right? Like if Ari's smart, she wouldn't have autoed there. She would just be like, oh, nice, you know. But for some reason,
Yeah.
she feels like I mean, she probably just doesn't know, right? So that's like why you want to be careful of trading wave one because
Mm.
it's
Mm.
super easy to mess up your timings, and especially because of like the main aggro. This for like for any specific is because of the minion aggro. For the other
Yeah.
champions, it's because of their skills are AoE, right? So it's super easy to hit the wave
Right.
and the enemies. Yeah,
This is why on Oriana you generally want to like not hit the wave too much
yeah,
because then it pushes too fast.
yeah. And here, right, like we're hitting level 2 soon, so we don't want to stand this far back,
True. Yeah.
right?
I should have stand
Like we can
further
just
up. Yeah.
stand in the middle of their minions even, right? Like what's Ari gonna do at this point? Like then we just, like I mean we get a nice queue anyways, which we're happy about. But like here, like this W, I'm not sure if
Mm.
it's really necessary. Maybe you could argue it with like the way your lanes like stand like your lane state is, where you're like, okay, I just need to crash it right now because otherwise it's gonna end up bad. I don't think that's the case. And this crash is yeah, this is like the worst possible timing, right? Because now this like next wave is gonna be stuck here too, right? And now like
Yeah.
this just like I mean Ari, thank God Ari for like perma pushing the wave. Really appreciate it.
I
Really
really
educational
appreciate
here. God.
I
Uh
really appreciate the help.
Ari, so thankful for being so educational
She
here.
is
Really appreciate it. God.
she donated the wave. She donated everything.
Yeah, because like if she doesn't clear this like wave, then it's so bad for you. Like if
Oh
she doesn't even
man.
queue that, like this is horrible, right?
But wait, so let's okay, so let's pause for a second. So now here's the question though.
Uh-huh.
So basically the goal with wave one is I want to still pressure. I don't want to just give up the wave. I still want to contest level two. But at the same time, I don't want to influence the wave too much to the point where it will just insta push into her
Yes. So
way
this is
too
kind of like
quickly.
what we talked about, like we might have talked about actively, but this is something we talk about a lot, where we always say you want to get 2 to 3 auto attacks ahead, right? There are specific
Ah,
reasons why 2 and why 3. Oh shit, that you don't need to know why it's 2 or why it's 3. Well, we can like go really in depth way later on, but there's a reason why you would go for 2 auto attacks, and there's a reason why you would go for 3 auto attacks.
question.
Yeah.
Layering is part of this because you can layer up the minions so that they die. Uh, you maximize the trade windows by making it so that they die not at the same time. They
Yeah.
basically die
Yeah, yeah.
one after another
Yeah,
instead of
so
everything
this is
at
like
once.
3 auto attacks ahead of your opponent,
Yes,
right?
yes, yeah, I
So
got
that
it.
obviously means if we're doing 2 here and 1 here, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah, that's usually what I do if I'm layering. But I don't really. I don't really entertain that since I've just been focusing on the very like
Yeah,
surface
so
level
so like
stuff. Just
yeah. I'm mainly mentioning this is because if you're not going to do stuff like this, you are gonna get yourself into situations where it's impossible to do stage two. And we saw that like later on here where the wave
yeah,
is here and
yeah,
Ari's just getting free CS. Why is
yeah,
that happening? Because you're messing up on wave one, you're messing up on wave two,
yep.
right?
That makes sense. That makes sense.
If
Okay.
it's ever more than 3 auto attacks, it will always be bad for you, pretty much.
Ah, wait. So, okay, wait. So this means okay, but how do I? Hmm. Because this means that I can't always trade in a
Yes.
given instance
This is purely on wave one.
on wave one. So wave two.
Yeah, this is
Uh,
only like what I'm talking about here is only talking about wave one, specifically
okay,
wave one.
okay, okay,
Because
okay.
in
Got it.
wave
Got it.
one, this auto attack lead is important, right? Because this auto attack lead will result in you getting like level two, right?
Yep. Before the enemy. Yep.
Yeah, and you don't like if it's less than 2 auto attacks, the level two lead doesn't matter, right? The enemy's just gonna get it around the same time.
And at that point, the wave is just going to stay in the middle.
I mean, if it stays in the middle, that's the ideal point, right?
Yeah. 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 No. So
Because
that's
I
fine.
mean, if it stays in the middle and you hit level two first, you can just run the enemy into their tower, because you're hitting
Yeah.
level two first. The
Yeah.
reason why one auto attack isn't enough is because you hitting level two first is a timing, right? And if you are
Yeah.
only one auto attack ahead, that timing is so short that you can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
So you want to have at least two, preferably three. In
Okay.
your case, you pretty much always want three. Three is
Okay.
correct in like 99% of the cases, in like the vast majority of matchups as well. Three is correct. You don't need to know
Gotcha.
why two is correct, but two works most of the time. If you're at 4 auto attacks, your wave shoves too fast into your opponent, and
Gotcha.
you will like essentially if you're at 4 or more auto attacks, your opponent can just leave the wave, miss 1 or 2 minions, and get an insanely good wave position for themselves for wave 2, 3, and 4.
Ah. Fuck. Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck. I didn't know. Okay. Okay. Cool.
So essentially, it's really
Cool.
important. Like this is basically the opening, like or like a build order in a sense, right? There are two
Mm.
variants. There's this one where you're getting level 2 first, right?
Yep.
The other one is let's say this Ari spams the wave with their Q and she's like 6 autos ahead into level 2. You don't have to
Mm.
contest this 6 autos. You can just be like, you've already made the mistake. I'm just gonna AFK, stand back. I'm gonna just CS from distance, and then the wave's gonna end up here, and I'm gonna be able to CS for free and punish you for free, right?
Yeah. This sounds similar to the famous Dopa versus Fizz game where you play TF versus Fizz and he'll just let the wave push in because Fizz pushed into him like at the like right from the get go with like
Yeah,
one
yeah,
auto.
yeah,
Obviously,
yeah,
that's an
yeah, yeah,
extreme example, but yeah,
absolutely, absolutely.
yeah, yeah. But I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Yes.
So there are two possible builds or like openers, I guess, in League for
Hmm.
you specifically, which either you get 3 auto attack lead on the minions and you hit
Yeah.
level 2 first, or your opponent fucks up and pushes way too hard and you just let it come to here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Those are essentially like the two best case options, and it requires your opponent to blunder, like both of them. Luckily, your opponents have no idea surrounding this, so they will always blunder.
Okay. Problem solved. All right.
Right? But there will be cases, right? Like if you're doing 1v1s against people in Resolve, they also know this stuff, right? So it's very possible that neither of you blunders, and you essentially just like keep auto attacking the wave permanently, just in order to make sure that your opponent doesn't get level 2 before you. And also, like so that can happen as well. And
Oh
abilities
man.
can be used there. It's quite complex, which is often why we recommend for the first wave to be very careful with trading or with punishing CS, because if you do anything with the wave, like the balance of it is really tight, right? And your opponents, they won't like intentionally punish you, but it's very possible that they accidentally punish you. And that's like, if that's the case, that's way more dangerous than the intentional ones, right?
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, like this is like just a general rule. If it's
Yeah,
punishable by pure luck or pure RNG, then it's an extra bad thing. If
yeah,
something is like punishable by only good intents, then it can still be okay. Okay.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So right now you kind of see we're gonna push this second wave. We're gonna push too fast into the enemy tower, right?
Yeah.
And this kind of flows from being too far ahead early because you were really far ahead early, and you're like, oh shit, I'm too far ahead in minions. I need to crash real quick, otherwise it's gonna be super bad, right?
Mm.
That's the only reason I can imagine why you W this. The only reason why you would ever W this is because you think,
Yeah.
oh no, my wave is too big. This is gonna be bad. Oh no.
Truth is, I just W'd just to not miss that one CS.
Which one, CS? No,
You'll
you.
see. But
Oh,
yeah,
really?
you're right.
Yeah.
Really.
Okay. Like,
But
okay. Okay.
but
That's fair.
but
That's fair.
but you are right. You are correct. I'm not saying you're not correct. I'm just saying, me personally, I like getting that CS. Listen, I like getting that
Uh
cash
huh.
in the bank.
Uh-huh. So okay, next time you
Okay.
hit a W like that, just like make sure you don't hit the entire backline minions because
Yeah,
otherwise you're gonna get
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
ruined.
yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Just like
Gotcha.
W to the side or something.
Yeah, yeah. I will try not to do that again.
Because like yeah, this is like just basically you just like even like missing that one minion is gonna be better than what is gonna happen here, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because you're
You're right.
gonna get into what I like to call the 2.5 wave crash. So there's the wave 2 crash, where you crash using wave 1 and
Yep,
2 into tower. There's the wave 3
yep.
crash, which is ideal. You always want to get wave 3 crash, if
Oh,
possible.
wait. So wave three is like the standard. Is that what I want to go for always?
Yeah, so again, right, like level 1, we're going to get 3 auto attacks ahead. So we're always pushing in the opponent, right?
Right,
So there
right.
will be a wave where we need to crash.
And it will be either the second or the third.
Yeah, like
I thought.
it's very unlikely that it's going to be the fourth, assuming that your opponent's like a human being.
If they're not, there's bigger issues.
Even if they're not, like the chances of it crashing on wave 4 is super small. Unless your opponent just like spams abilities on the wave, then sure, you know.
But wait. So this is where I kind of mixed it up because I thought that the second wave push was like standard, but you're saying
No,
that.
no, 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 no. Second wave is really bad most of the time.
Mm,
So like basically you always want to crash on either wave 2 or wave 3. Um, there's no other option really. You can't really crash on wave 1 unless like yeah, like if you do, you're wasting so much opportunities surrounding your level 2 spike. Crashing on wave 2 is sometimes necessary, right? Let's say you have like a really big lead in minions, and your opponent didn't like let's say this Ari at this point didn't auto the minions at all. You need to salvage the lane state by like shoving it in, making sure it crashes wave 2, because otherwise you're gonna get the in between, which what you're gonna get
yeah,
now, right?
yeah, yeah.
Wave 3 is an amazing one to crash on because um it's a very natural one from like level, so you get like essentially what's going to happen, right? You get level 2 lead, you're going to zone your opponent off of XP, so they're not going to lost hit your minions, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So your minions are always going to push, they're always going to be pushing, like there is no doubt
Mm,
about this push going to happen, it's always going to happen.
okay, okay.
However, crashing on this wave immediately is very risky because wave 3 is coming, right?
Yeah.
So you will only want to crash on this wave if it's absolutely unsalvageable, right?
Okay. Now I learned.
Otherwise, you want to just like basically super slow push this and then get wave 3. And then once wave 3 comes around, you will notice that it's very difficult. It's like, while you already have minion advantage, to not to crash there.
Yeah,
Because if you don't
yeah.
crash there, it's gonna be real bad.
Oh, it's gonna be so bad. Oh, the amount of
But like,
ganks,
yeah,
dude.
like if wave 3 is like once wave 3 crashes here, what you do is you just ward this camp, the raptors, right?
Mm-hmm.
And from that, you know everything you need about jungle. Does that make
I
sense?
sometimes word over the wall.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's
From
what.
like, yeah. Yeah, no, not over the raptor wall, but like over the wall. You see how down here by the river, like over the, like when I stand in the bush and over that wall and
Oh,
into
okay,
the
yeah.
area
So like, even
to the right of the raptors.
like you see here how this position is really awkward because like you can't really trade with Ari anymore,
No, no,
right?
I can't.
It
Yeah,
sucks. And now
it
this
sucks
wave, you're
so much.
still in like a really bad position. Normally, if Ari wouldn't spam auto attack this wave, it's gonna be really bad for you. Ari, for some reason, feels like pressured, so she's like giving you a free like you know extremely good lane. There's quite some trades
Yeah,
that you're missing here. Actually, it's because you're standing this far back. Please don't miss the kind of trade, man. You don't need to miss that shit.
I was just so scared of Elise. You
Yeah,
see
this
how I was
this
like pinging
so
it?
so like, this is also right like because you're crashing on this like on like 2.5,
Yeah,
right? You're
yeah,
not doing a clean crash. You're doing just like the opposite
yeah.
of clean, or a dirty crash.
The dirty crash.
But like yeah, like this is essentially like what I mean here. This is like so let's say you crashed on wave 2. What
Yeah.
you just do, you just walk over here and you just ward like in raptors. That's it. And
Mm,
then you just like immediately walk back. And from this ward, if raptors are still up, it's because he did this, and he might be coming this way, right? If
Keep in mind
raptor,
this is Elise. Keep in mind this is Elise also.
yeah, I mean, like if they're still up, you know that they're like most likely here,
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah,
they're doing this, which means they're gonna go back into raptors, and you'll see them, right? So if
yeah.
raptors are like down or up, you pretty much always know that like you should go this way, and you'll see whenever like if it's up, then you just hover on like the bottom
Yes,
side of the map, right?
yes.
Until you see your opponent jungler like on the raptors, and then you start moving
Yeah.
on the other side, right?
Listen, I.
And that's basically like this like comes very close to like stage 4 stuff, but this is like the super easy. Like it's basically foolproof where
Yeah,
if you just get this small ward, you'll just vaguely know what side of of the lane you need to stand in. And if you're just
yeah,
standing like if you're like let's say your opponent is like coming from blue side, right? So he's
yeah.
gonna gank from here, and you're standing here. If you die to this gank, I will just flame you, okay? Right?
Okay, okay, okay. No, I got what you mean. I think the reason why I kept doing this, I think I've done this many, many times over
Uh-huh.
my past games. The reason why is because I think I've just been simplifying the game as much as possible,
Yeah,
just
that's good.
sticking to just pressuring as much as I can
Mm-hmm.
without really thinking about this stuff. But now that you mentioned this, I'm going to add this in and I'm going to try to implement this into my future games.
Yeah, essentially
And
this comes down to the Bruce Lee analogy again, right?
yeah,
So
no,
es-
you're definitely right. Yeah,
so essentially you're on like you're forcing yourself upon the first step, um, but you're not realizing how, a trade can be more than a trade, right? Like you're at the a punch is just a punch level, and you need to
yeah,
realize that like a lot of things that you're doing are going to impact all of this. So there's going to be way more information that you
yeah.
actually need to go into. It's way more complex than you see, and you kind of need
Mhm.
to find out all these complexities before you can actually just like find out. Okay, it's this simple,
Yeah, yeah,
because right now, like if you just look at like how many CS you punish here, you know your level 2 lead, right? Like this melee she got for free,
yeah. No, I see
right?
it.
And then you use your Q there, so you're probably not going to punish again. Let's see if she gets this cost or she gets for free. Like for these, like I understand why you can't trade because you're on the fucking enemy tower. Why are you on a tower? Because you messed up the wave. And now you feel like you're not safe to trade because it's gonna like slowly push into you, and you're like, oh no, the minions are gonna hurt me. Oh no, the jungler might come. So now she gets another 3 free minions, and it gets that bad that she even gets the cannon for free here, right? And you mentioned, oh, I'm being super aggressive. Well, no, you're not. Like, Look, she just got
No,
entire
not
wave 3
here.
for
Not
free.
here.
Yeah,
Not here.
she's got the entire wave 3 for free for no reason. And part of that is because you messed up your push. But another part is just because you're playing so far, like so scared. Like this is like some stage 1 shit, you know? Like
Uh,
essentially what you're showing me here is like a very competent stage 1 student, right? Where they make very little mistakes. If we actually look at like the amount of minions that you punish, like you can notice that it's not many, right? And this also like flows into what we are talking about, right? Like how is it that my opponent is still getting the same CS as I am? Well, this is why, you know.
true. True.
And now like this is like obviously a good lane state for you. It doesn't matter that Arya is coming top. We can shove this if you want. But like yeah, she's missing a ton here. It's great. It's nice that she randomly died for no reason as well. But yeah, like all in like the first couple of lanes alone, you can see that you're not thinking about punishing her CS. It's just very obvious that it's just not coming up in your mind. Otherwise, you would definitely see it in your movement, right? Like you could see when Ari was in the lane, like your positioning super far back in the lane, right? It was the most weird position that was seen in like I've seen in a while. Okay, Olaf, big. Fair. Here you can get a quick Dark Seal, quick boots. Yep. Dark Seal's broken item. Also, please tell me you're never building Leandries, because if you are, I'm
No, I'm just going there.
Okay, good. Leandries sucks. Never build it on any champion ever. Just every game, always on every single mage, you go Ludens and Sorks. Never any other boots, and never any other mythic. If you're a mana mage, right? Like now your position looks slightly better, but you gotta
Yeah, I'm
work.
just like I'm just so confused because I see the jacks coming in and
Well,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
wait.
I understand. But
I
like
was like, wait.
here, your position looks better, right? Like you're actually like look how you're moving forward here, because you're like okay, well you're not gonna like get CS for free. You're actually like pressuring here. The
Yeah.
thing that is like less good here, you might recognize it yourself in the VOD here. Notice how you're standing in the middle of your own minions, right?
Yeah, true. I'm
So
just scared of the charm. That's like the main
yeah,
reason I think.
you really like I understand that, but you're kind of at a point where you just gotta dodge the charm.
Okay, all right then.
Like
All right.
because now if Ari hits a Q, she's gonna trade on you and she's gonna get a free shove. You don't want to give people double value to their like spells like that. Even if like oh no, it's oh yeah okay. Why are you sending me this VOD? Your Jack, the enemy Jax is running it
No,
down.
no, no, like they started playing seriously after this. Like this was like a one-off for them.
What? Your
Like
entire lane is useless. Oh my god.
this is just.
Oh, this was a good VOD, huh? I see.
I mean, it showed the mistakes I made. Like I made the
No,
mistakes.
I'm joking. Okay.
I mean, I made a lot of mistakes.
Yes. But yeah, again, right? Like you see, like she uses Q. It's not because of you. Oh, that rhymes. That's pretty good. Again, use a spell. It's not because you're pressuring her. Like great that he used a spell. There we go. The first big trade. Nice. It's at 6 minutes, and that's like the first or second one, right? Like I want to see way more than this. Great trade again. Do it more. You know. Like that means she shouldn't have gotten. That means she shouldn't have gotten. That she shouldn't have gotten. Yeah, okay, that one she really shouldn't have gotten. If she got that one, I don't know. Oh, you got lucky with that CS. Holy shit. I was so sure it was gonna die to tower.
I thought I did stage 2, but I'm not.
Yeah, you're doing the opposite.
I mean,
I mean,
stage 1 is fine.
no,
At least that is fine.
like I said, right? Like this replay, to me, is a replay of a very competent stage 1 students, right? Which is good in its own right, right? But You already were a good like a competent stage 1 student, so like.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, Squid, you managed to make it. Nice. I didn't notice that you joined.
Yeah, sorry. I was AFK.
Okay, good to know.
Oh, fuck.
But yeah, like there's just so much missing. Right?
I'm scared of getting hit. I'm scared of getting hit.
I
Like,
get
that's
that. I get that.
one of the main fears. Like, I want to hit without getting hit. So I wait for
Yeah.
her to use abilities before I start hitting her, which is
Yeah.
like that's my psychological dilemma here.
Mm-hmm. Also, you really don't want to go the I mean, I guess it's fine to go the MR route here. I mean, it's okay.
Double AP, like jungle
Yeah,
and
yeah, I
melee
was
AP.
thinking of that too. It's okay.
I don't build into like the burden sphere. I just
Oh,
sit
you can.
on
You
those.
can. It's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I heard from LS it was a good item.
Oh
Like,
man,
he tweeted about it.
it was so funny. Me and Daniel were laughing about. Okay, I just gotta like tell you about this shit. Cause me and Daniel have been talking about how the minor AP items are broken since like the start of the season. Like we've been talking about this forever, and that Merc treads are trash, and that every mage ever should go Sorks and Ludens, and if they ever build anything else, they're inting, right? And just, like most recently, and that's like I found this revolutionary build. It's insane. I'm so smart. And we're like, oh wow, what is it? Probably something we haven't seen before. Oh wait, you're talking about that minor item that like everyone's been building since like the start of preseason? Wow, insane. Oh my god. Like me and Danny have just been like laughing about this shit where it's like, well, let's see which build he's gonna find out next. We're debating on if he's gonna find out about Ludens versus Leandri or Tyr being trash. He's gonna be either of those two. It's gotta be.
He's still building tier on stream.
Yeah, I know. Like he's gotta find out sometime, right? Like that
someday.
sometime he's gotta find out that going Seraphs is int because it's literally worse than Rabadon's. Like, how dumb is that when Rabadon's is such a bad item? Like, it's so bad. It's so bad. Oh my god.
You know what? You know what the build I go for on any
Hmm?
Ludens, Sork shoes, Void,
Hell yeah.
Death Cap,
Yeah, that's fine.
and then I maybe go situational, like
Yeah, that's the Luden Sorg's Void Staff is really broken.
yeah, it's really strong.
You
really,
steal
really
true
strong.
damage to everyone pretty much. Like it's dumb.
Yeah.
It's really dumb. And then Darksteel, that's another thing by the way. He still hasn't found out Darksteel's broken. Like
Listen, I've been building it every game, ever since you told me.
Yeah. Is it broken or what?
It's fucking good. I get free AP, and it's a good mythic. No, it's not a mythic. It's a legendary. But it adds to my mythic passive.
It's
so cheap.
Nobody knows why, but you know, like, wonder when he's gonna find out about that one. It's pretty good. So like, the bets are up if it's gonna be like any of those or something else. It's also possible it's gonna be something else. But yeah. Again, right? Like
drinker is a good item.
Oh, another one he might find out is Prowler's Claw being the best, like one of the best items in the game, but I do not expect it. I do not expect him finding out.
Why am I not trading? No.
Hey, you're gonna get the cannon, right? Yeah, this is fine. Like you saw how you move forward, right? So this is like what I'm talking about, right? Like sometimes you're doing it when you see it happening, you can execute it. But the thing is, you really need to get to a point where you can do this on every minion, right? And something you mentioned is that you were a bit scared of getting hit by their abilities, which completely understandable, right? But you kind of
when I tried to limit test. Sorry.
Go ahead.
When I tried to limit test, the problem that I constantly ran into was that I got too low HP because I got hit.
Flash art. If you stun with art, deals more damage.
Listen, I just W because I feel like it's more consistent. if they have like flash or whatever.
What do you mean it's
I've
more
seen it happen.
consistent?
These people, like, I mean, they're not they're still bots. They're still NPCs. But sometimes in a blue moon, they unlock their like all their chakras and then
Okay,
they
wait,
manage
wait,
to
wait.
flash.
So like you see this one, right? Like just look at Tibbers, right? So you're gonna stun this guy. You see what happens? Whoa, this guy like attacks like
Yeah, I could have
super
fucking used
fast.
W. Oh, I could
No,
have used
you
W.
see how he attacks super fast when you stun someone? You see this?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so if you ult someone with the stun, he's gonna attack super fast. So he deals way more damage. Okay?
That I understand.
So you
But,
want to use the R to initiate if you can, not to W. Because with R you deal
that
like way more
I
damage.
completely understand you. I
Uh-huh.
completely understand you. The only thing I can say is I feel like if they have flash or some kind of
They're
dash,
not gonna flash your ult. Like it's so impossible.
I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. I've tried
Then you're just
this. I've
running it
seen it happen.
down. You're running it down. That just means that you're doing then you're doing
okay.
flash and then wait 1 second and then press R. Like yeah,
No,
like
no, I press R then flash. I press R then flash. Like I buffer it. I try to buffer it.
I mean then like it that can only be a predict. Like it's legit impossible to like do that on response.
No, no. I'm not saying they're like on doing it on response. I'm saying they're literally like sometimes I see it happen. Like they predict it.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I don't know how.
It's
How did they do it?
but like even then, right? Like they do the same with W. Like it's not
True.
like it's not that much faster. So you definitely always want to do that stuff. This is so
True.
funny, by the way, because you're not the first person to tell me that. Where it's like, oh yeah, I just use W because it's certain. I'm like, your ult is like I think it's 0.25 cost time. Like, do you really think people are gonna respond in like 0.25 seconds? What? You know?
I mean, listen. I have nightmares. But okay. All right. I will listen to what you say blindly, and I will forever now just when I engage, just use R flash. I will stick to that.
Yeah.
I'll take it at face value.
Okay,
Like if you tell me something to be true,
do it for a week and tell me how many R's you've missed. Like due to your opponent like doing it, right? Like not due to yourself being bad.
I'll personally collect
Yeah,
stats.
collect the data, okay?
I'll collect the data and I'll format it on an Excel sheet and show it to you, okay?
But yeah, like
if it happens.
let's just kind of like move back to like more serious territory.
Yes.
What you've mentioned
yes.
is you're very scared of like her abilities here. You kind of just want to get to a point. Like this is where those early deaths are for, right?
Yeah.
And this is where improvement is for as well. This is for you to limit test. The reason why punishing CS like this is difficult is because being aware of all of this and all these abilities coming at you is difficult, right? Like you need to dodge them as well. You need to do all these things. You need to concentrate the wave and where everything is. All of that is very difficult, right? It's not necessarily because just like every soft thing you walk forward and you just like hit her when you know that she's on CD, right? Like that's not the difficult part. The difficult part is doing everything together. Which is where why we're doing this play, right? Like we want to really push ourselves to like learn new skills. And with the way you're doing it right now, yeah, you're being way safer and you're not gonna die as much. But at the same time, what the fuck is she doing? Oh yeah, if you hit the Q there, then
yeah, I was like trying to Q, but then like I missed with my cursor. Like I don't know what happened.
I don't know either.
Oh, okay.
You were saying this is a normal game. This guy's like running it down into your lane all the time. Don't you have a better fog,
I
man?
knew something was wrong though. Like even though this happened, I didn't really care. Like this doesn't really matter. Like what happens top doesn't matter. And I think the main reason why I sent this WAD was because I felt like, okay, I did get like a good CS lead, but I didn't feel like it was because of me.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's why I sent it, because I wanted to see why exactly like this all happened. So and the other thing is the reason why I mostly trade around just the CDs
Uh-huh.
It's because I'm exactly scared of that like possibility that oh no, like what if I get hit? Oh, then I will be in a shit position. Oh,
Well,
then
yeah.
what if she like all-ins me, or what if the jungler comes over after she sees me like being lower in HP after the trade? So I try to
Yeah.
just like maximize safety by pressuring to get her to use the ability. Uh, Obviously, like sometimes it doesn't work, but I try to do that, and then I trade when I know that her cooldowns are down, when I
Uh-huh.
feel a lot safer. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
I
because of
think
that, you're just like not trading a lot of the time. Right.
yeah, yeah, and I think that's just me avoiding the inevitable.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
avoiding I'm avoiding the pain
Yeah.
by developing a way of circumventing that like really
Yes.
painful process.
Yeah, I mean,
And I think
it's
go
it's
ahead.
it's positive or good if you die by like a limit test, right? Because that's like the point where you're like, oh, okay, I need to do this way better. And in regards to junglers, like if you actually kind of like look at how you can have your lane state all the time, if you have your lane state like this, what kind of jungler is gonna gank you, you know? Right? Like and like this is one of those cues, right? Like look at where you're standing. Right? Like why are you standing on this minion? Look at how you're approaching this. Like, okay, this minion is getting low, right? You're clicking all the way in Narnia right here, right? Why? You don't want to run this way. Think about what like people like obviously like there's part of stage 3 in a way, but like the super basic level, what do you want to get on this wave? There's no like CS you can get. Ari wants to get this minion, so we need to already be in position or walking into position to punish this CS. Moving this way doesn't help it, right?
Yeah.
So we either want to move
Uh,
here or we want to move here so we can punish this. We don't want to move this way because then we're just lining up to get hit, right?
yeah.
So this is also like part of like okay that you're missing this one, sure. This one right here, we don't want to stand right like think of what everything is going on. Let's say she still has Q or she still has W, right? Where can we stand to punish her going for this CS while still getting this CS? Any position here is fine. Any position here is fine,
Yeah.
right? Positions here, you can argue that they're fine until like Ari throws out a Q and hits you and the minion, right?
Yeah.
And then it's less fine. Another
Yeah.
reason for like the abilities, right? Like let's say you're standing here and Ari decides to like throw out an E on like you like let's say this CS getting low, Ari's like moving this way a bit, and you're like, oh no, you're not. You're moving to this area, and you're kind of like moving towards her in this sense, right? And you see
Yeah.
Ari just like move into you.
Yeah.
What do you think is gonna happen? She's gonna go for this CS, or do you think she's gonna like throw an ability at you,
Obviously thrown ability, yeah.
right? So if Ari is already running at you, it's way easier to just like dodge the E. Like let's say she hits the E, wow, that's great for her. Still misses this minion, right? She doesn't have CDs for the next minion, right? You're still gonna trade back on her, and that's the best case scenario for Ari. Let's look at the worst case scenario for Ari. You dodge the ability. Now Ari misses a minion for no reason, doesn't have a cooldown to do the same thing the next time, and probably takes damage anyways because you're still in the range,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like if the enemies actually try to hit abilities on you,
Yeah.
that's more often than not positive than you, right? Like your opponents can't keep that up all the time, right? So
That
you
is
don't.
true.
This is why standing apart from your minions is so important because you don't want them
Yeah.
to like double tap everything for multiple reasons, right? Also for like push and shove reasons. You don't want them to like hit you in the wave because then they're just gonna get like insane shove into your tower, stuff like that. Or wave one, they're just gonna get really good leads. And here, the reason why this trait doesn't work necessarily is due to multiple reasons, right? Like if you look at the timing of your Q, it's
Yeah.
too like slightly too early, right?
Yeah.
If you look at your positioning, you notice that you're moving up like it's too late that you're moving up already, right? Because your main's gonna walk with you. That click backwards, that's the deal breaker right there. If you wouldn't have clicked backwards, it would have been perfect. This click here is not exactly where you want to be. You want to be slightly further down. This click backwards, another one. And that click is preventing you from being in the position you want to be, right? This click is doing the same, right? Like, you want to trade here, right? Like, why are you clicking back? This is like the third, fourth, fifth click back. And now you're like, oh shit, that means getting low. Shit, gotta do something about it. And now, like, obviously, right? Like, the moment that you're moving up is both too late and too early, right? It's too late in the sense of you would have already wanted to be here. But let's say you were too late there and you want to salvage it. This is too early. You want to wait for the moment where she throws out the auto attack. You see how she's not even in range for the auto attack yet. And you're already like running up in a straight line towards her. This is like the freest kill shot ever, right? She hasn't even tried to last hit the minion and you're throwing out the skill. Wait for the moment. Set yourself up in position before the moment, and then wait for your opponent to try and CS, and then hit them with the Q. Because, right, like, another thing, right, like, let's say we're standing here, right, and Ari's standing here, and she wants to get this CS, and she's autoing this CS. Where's her mouse when she's autoing this CS?
Her mouse is going to be on the blue minion.
It's going to be on the blue minion, right? You're going to hit Q on her, like this, right? Now she wants to hit you. Her mouse needs to go all this distance over here, right? To be able to do anything in regards to skill shots on you, and your Q is already like here, right? And your mouse can be anywhere in this area. It's like, if this is going on, like, obviously you're gonna fucking dodge this ability. You like, if they're really good and they predicted your movement or something, they might hit, but it's very decent chance that you're dodging it. It's basically 50-50, right? This is
I
why
think I
waiting
might be
for that.
overdoing. Sorry.
You go ahead.
I think I might be overdoing the wiggling thing. Might need
Yeah,
to
as
just
well.
simplify.
Yeah. You're definitely
And
overdoing
like
it at the moment.
I'm trying to do what I think my reasoning is to hide my intent, but
Yeah,
I need
like,
to first develop it first.
yeah. So, like, basically right now, you're on stage 2. Don't worry about intents. Stage 2, just worry about getting the trades. That's all, right? We just want to make sure that you get every trade you can. That's it.
Yeah. I gotta
Right,
just
yeah.
simplify.
Yep, it's all about the trades, nothing else. You gotta both simplify and make it more difficult for yourself. You gotta do both.
Suffering.
But
I
yeah,
just gotta
like,
embrace it. I just gotta embrace it. Just gotta embrace the suffering.
feels good, you know.
Sometimes.
Once you
But
notice
yeah.
the growth, it feels really good.
Yeah, no. I definitely think though I have improved, even though I haven't really
Yeah, so
actually fully moved into stage 2. I think I still have improved in some aspects actually.
yeah,
Still.
so something positive, right? You can notice that once you set your mind to a minion, once you see one, you do consistently punish it. Like, this one, for example, is not really a punish of CS, right? Like, this is just
This is
like,
just
this is just you press Q on them, which, like, I'm not too mad at that specific one. I'm not too mad at it. But we gotta admit as well, like, we didn't really punish CS. We just pressed Q on our opponent.
yeah.
Right? That's not entirely the same thing. Again, like, wherever the jungle is and all that stuff doesn't really matter apart from like the first 4 waves, essentially. And yeah. But yeah, like, this shove, you can argue that it's fine because you want a base here. Love the 10 Dark Steel stacks. And now we're at like the point of the game where it's like, we're basically just like playing actual fights. We're not really like laning anymore. We're misplaying a lot of these fights, probably. It can be way further refined.
Yeah.
Let me actually look at this for a bit. Yeah, going bot here makes perfect sense. Stay for one more wave makes sense as well. Um, we can stay here. Yeah, that's fine. You can argue you should group with team here, but it's fine to stay one more wave.
Yeah.
Ah, you're joking me.
And then I kill Ori.
Great job,
I just
brother.
use my I just use my Q because I know it's guaranteed, even if she dashes, and then I just follow up. Easy
Yeah,
peasy.
it makes sense. Staying for this wave makes sense as well. We're going for base because we've got pretty crazy items here. We're just grouping with team because there's nothing we can do really. We're noticing that there's gonna be like very little CS in mid. Like like after this CS, unless there's gonna be like a crazy fight, which
I shouldn't. Why didn't I don't know why I didn't.
yeah, you definitely
Why
are
didn't
there.
I?
Yeah.
I don't know why. I thought
Otherwise
like, oh,
here, by the way, like what would you do after this wave?
after this wave, I would I would first kill the wave, then I would look at the map. I would see that the bot is like building up into me, and then I would maybe go bot. Alternatively, if I see that we are like grouping for something, like whatever the fuck, then I can join in. But
Yeah.
my default response would be kill the wave, then go bot, kill that wave, then go back, and then potentially group for fight.
Yeah, another very good option here is Raptors, which are up here.
Yeah, I can go for Raptors too.
You
While
can go like
I'm on my way.
Raptors. You can go like Raptors into like Gromp into bot probably. In
Yeah,
like that sense, right? Like never forget the jungle camps are a real thing that you can do regularly, right? Because
yes.
haven't seen you been doing that too much. Like here, obviously, like you can group around with your team here. That makes perfect sense. We get well, we don't get the blue buff. Fuck. That's unlucky.
The fuck.
These early carries. Wait.
He's the reckless, dude. He's the new reckless.
Wait. Let me just see this all real quick. Okay.
Okay, so we got the kill. And then
Yeah.
we do the knock up. Bada bing, bada boom. We kill them. Bam. We see this guy. He jumps over the wall to his death, and then yeah, we just go Baron. And then I die. I don't know why. I don't know. You're asking me questions that I wish I knew, but I don't.
Oh, that's why. Never mind. No, it's obvious. You like from this point on, you don't FQ, okay?
Okay.
Stop fucking FQing. It's no reason. It's only distracting you. You saw it in lane as well. I mean, you didn't see it because they didn't point it out probably, but it was noticeable in lane as well, where when you were FQing, it was impacting your ability to do things. So just finish your Magi's, man.
I just want to get Death Cap.
God. Also, I'm really sure Morello is shit this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I went that. I was just kind of building it because, like, I was like, why not? It's like decent.
I mean, they don't have healing, so it's
Yeah,
pretty
you're right. You're right.
pretty XD.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But yeah, like this obviously like just a huge stomp.
It's just so unfortunate.
Huh?
I'm trying to avoid the pain, but I have to accept it. I have to accept the pain in order to grow.
I mean, like we said, right? Like, what was the goal we talked about when we talked about stage 2 goals?
Yeah.
Like,
You're right.
what did you tell yourself you were gonna hit? Right? We were talking about at least trading once per wave.
Once per wave. Yeah.
Well, we can see we didn't even do that, right? And we also said that once per wave is not even that like ambitious. And that
it
for
should
like
generally be like
for true competency, once per wave is very much not enough. Right? Like the basic super easy goal to like check yourself is making sure it's once per wave, but real competent students would essentially be capable of trading, or at least like showing intent or capability to trade every dying minion, right? Obviously, when your spells are on cooldown or when you're getting CS yourself, you can't trade. Makes perfect sense.
Or when my mana is like too low.
Yeah, obviously, right? But mana being too low, that shouldn't really happen, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to make that happen if your mana's too low. It's a very weird case. You must have missed like a ton.
Yeah,
Yeah. I've no clue how that happens. But yeah, like apart from when you're on cooldown, when you're getting a CS, you should show like intent, or at least like I should be capable of seeing in your like character's movement that you recognize that that main is an opportunity and that you're looking to capitalize on it. This game we didn't
yes,
see that at all. Like we saw it sometimes, but very much not consistently at all. And the goal is to like do a really good punish at least once per wave. But what true competency will look like and what is necessary to move on to stage 3 is the ability to do it on essentially every minion, right? That's like
yeah.
what's pretty much necessary. And then stage 3 is very much about like refining what you're actually doing, right? It's not about like necessarily getting more trades, but more about like getting the trades better and more efficient in many ways. Many ways.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
But
Fuck.
yes, like yeah, this is possibly like if you were doing 1v1s, I could very much imagine that you were having like a lot of difficulties.
I actually did a couple 1v1s, and from like I did it with Sky 2 and like the others, and from
Uh-huh.
what they said, at least they said it like that I did well.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you can talk to them about it, but from what I've heard, at least they said that I did like decently well, at least.
Mhm.
Uh, Obviously, I was trying my best to pressure. I think I pressured a lot more in those 1v1s than I did in actual games.
I can
Now that I
imagine.
think about it,
I can imagine because your opponent's pressuring you as well.
yeah. And then it's I don't know. I am a bit disappointed
Mhm.
because I know that I have the capability to
Yeah.
do it. I have the like it's not like I'm impeded by mechanics or something. I think it's mainly that I'm just choosing intentionally not to do it, or I'm
I
just
mean, there's
subconsciously
there's
too afraid.
multiple things. There's like many things going on here, right?
Yeah.
And in the end, like this is not necessarily something to be disappointed about. Um, this is just like a recontextualization of like what you need to focus on, right? You've just been like essentially you've just been like having like we're walking down a path and I'm like okay just like keep going for a bit and like after a while you just like really like this bench and you're just like let me just like look at nature and you really like just had some fun looking at nature and now we're just gonna be like okay let's like continue walking again we've been here enough you know
Yeah.
but like
At
it's
least,
not a bad or like a disappointing thing to take a small breather there and continue further now even if it wasn't
yeah,
like an intentional thing it's just whatever.
yeah. No, uh, I just know that I'm able to do more. I
Well, if
just
you're
need to
able to
push
do more
myself.
then it's gonna be easy, right?
Yeah. I just need to push myself to do it. I just need to push myself
Yeah,
to do
right,
it. I'm
like
just afraid. I'm just afraid of dying and losing my benchmarks on stage 1, and so I'm like trying to. I'm trying to accomplish both, and I
yeah,
don't
and that's
want
the
to like.
difficult part.
Yeah,
Like
I'm trying
that's
to like.
the reason why doing stage 1 and 2 together is so difficult, right? Because hitting both
Yeah,
of the marks is just difficult. It's not easy. That's why so many people get stuck on stage 2 because it's just not easy. It's really not. It sounds super easy, and when like that's like one of the like funniest parts of our first session as well, right? Where you're like, why doesn't everybody do this? It's hard.
it's hard. It's hard.
It's just like why don't like a lot of higher mark players do this? Because you really need to practice it. Like it's really difficult. It's not something that just everyone can do, really. It's super difficult. Um, Once you get it down, it'll just be super easy, obviously, right? Like there's like some students, right, that like still think we're being ridiculous with our goals for like stage 1 and 2 that think they're way too low and way too easy. because they're really competent. It was so funny because a lot of the time we have like students being like, "Yo, the CS goals are impossible," or it's so impossible to like trade this often," and then we have like our other students who are like, "Yo, your CS goals are like whack. They're way too easy. If you can't get like 44 CS at 5 minutes and 100 CS at 10 minutes, you shouldn't even be playing the game, honestly."
I mean, Daniel, true. I mean, do be true.
Yeah. But stuff like that, right? Like, and like the nice part about this gameplay here is that it shows that once you notice that the opportunity is there, you execute it really well. It's just like the snap execution. The only step you need to do now is
It's just doing it more.
doing it more, right? And fix your first 3 waves, right?
Yes.
Apart from that, we notice that you're shoving a lot of the time, which isn't always necessary, right? Like just like throughout the game, you're shoving a ton of the time, and it's not bad to have the wave on your tower, right? Or like in front of your tower, because that means you have a really strong position to constantly punish your opponent, right?
Yeah, and then, but then I am like, oh, I need to trim the wave. I need to focus on trimming. I can't punish right now because I gotta trim the wave.
Yeah, but like you can just do both, right? Like you can trim with your auto
Yeah.
attacks and like
Yeah.
still punish with your Qs and your
Yeah.
Ws, right? And like lastly, try to avoid standing inside of your minions. You'll notice that more and more, but standing is like that position, like now it's bad again. Now it's terrible. Now it's better. Like this position. Oh, don't click back there, man. I was almost gonna. It was like the perfect. Like if Annie's face is like if Annie is like
But
facing
what do I
this direction.
do? Like, what do I do? Like, while I'm just not do. I want to stay mobile. Like, where do I click? Do I just click sideways instead of clicking back? Like, where do I click? Because I don't want to stand. Like, I could just press S and just just sit.
I mean, honestly, like the only like the thing that would like make sense is like moving this direction, right?
Okay, so just walk back and forth in that like kind of angle.
I mean, honestly,
Like,
you don't even need to click back and you're basically at like this like you're clicking at the speed where clicking back and forth is actively like making it so your character moves quite a bit back to the point where you can't trade anymore. Right?
But where do I move? Where do I move
like
when
if
I'm
you
waiting?
look at your speed, right? Like whenever you click back, it takes so long for you to like click forward again that like often it's just yeah. But like right now, like don't click fucking back. Look, look where she's walking. What? Why are you standing here? Look, she throws a Q, the entire wave gets hit. You happy about that? I wouldn't be.
I'm not. I'm not.
Right?
I'm not.
Right.
But we're okay. So I don't click back ever.
Well,
And
you
I
click
just,
back out.
like-
You could click back after your trade, or let's say there's an example, like right here, right? Okay, never mind. This is a bad example because this minion's dying. Let's say this minion doesn't exist, right? Right now, like we can just real quick. This let's just not talk about this one here. Let's just talk.
just remove that one.
Perfect. Like right now, our like if we look at who like what our goals are, we want to last hit this, and Ari has nothing to do, right? Us moving forward right now, it doesn't make any sense because we have nothing to punish. So this is a moment where we can like move into a safe position where we can see us. Once this cannon is getting low, we will be moving forward again to move into trading position, right?
It sounds so simple. It sounds so simple.
Yeah, but like here again, right? Like why are we not punishing this minion? Because we're clicking back. Why are we clicking back? I don't know, like to move. But it's important to like yeah.
But where do I move if I'm not okay?
Well,
besides those points, like if I okay, let's say I'm in the perfect spot. Where do I just move? Where do I click? Do I click sideways? Like,
you
do I
like
click
preferably sideways at that point. But honestly, I wouldn't even worry that much about that. Like yeah, like
yeah, but like I can't just stand still. Then I just get hit. I can't just stand still. Like I can't just press S and just sit on that pocket forever.
I mean, like if we're talking about competent level play, then yes, you can just sit in that pocket forever, and that's fine. But we're not talking about like confident
Really?
level. So I mean, if we're talking about like actual good play, like if we're talking about someone with good stage 3, then yes, that's just fine. You can just do that. You're not someone with good stage 3, so I mean, at that point, it's better to like move back and forth. But honestly, I would just really relax with the amount of clicks that you're doing, because 70% of them are not intentional. They don't do anything good, and they actively harm like a lot of things. Just do like super simple stuff, man. Like,
Just simplify. I'm trying
yeah.
to play race cars when I should just be driving a very slow pace.
Yes.
Oh.
You can't even walk, brother.
I'm a cripple. Trying to do
no need for
marathon.
that. No need for that. No need for that.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that was too much.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yes. Yeah, no, I get it. All right, but okay. So I just need to simplify things.
Yes.
Just make it simple.
So okay, let's just kind of like summarize.
Yeah.
Real quick. Perfect. Let's just summarize. So
Yes.
first
Yes.
off, like, punish as much as you can, right? Don't stand inside of your minion wave, right? These are like the super
Okay.
simple things that we mess up here.
Yes.
Don't
Yes.
mess up your push
Yep.
throughout the game.
Yes.
Do your opener correctly, right? Which is either the 3 auto lead into level 2, like all in, I guess. You can call it an all in, but it's, you know what I mean with that, right?
I know what you mean.
Okay.
What you mean, yeah.
Or enemy messes up
And
into
pushes.
like, I mean, enemy messes up means they have 4 or more autos as the lead. Enemy messes up,
Oh, okay.
so let them push, right? Because yeah,
Yes.
the idea here is that when they hit level 2, the wave's gonna be in a super nice position, so they can't really abuse it, right? You're still gonna get the minions, you're still gonna get, yeah. Then furthermore, move up into a pocket where you can trade before you need to trade, right? You need to see it in you need to look into the future a bit.
Yes, I need to open my third eye and just see where I need to stand before I
So
need to
like
stand.
an example, right? This minion is gonna get low. It's not at the
Yes.
point like that was a bit early, but like the concept. Let's see for another minion. Like this caster here, right, is gonna get low. Ari's gonna need to CS it, or this cannon, right? The idea that we're talking about is essentially like, notice. Why the fuck are you clicking there and there? Notice how you were clicking forward here, right? Like, if I was playing this any, right, like, first off, I wouldn't be standing in this like god awful position. I would be standing like here somewhere, right?
Yes.
If this cannon is getting low, or I mean, even like, let's say I'm standing further back, I'm standing here. This cannon is getting low, so I'm gonna move forward, even though Ari isn't moving in to get a CS yet. But I know I will need to stand in this position if Ari is moving up to get the CS, right?
Yes.
If I'm still
Yes.
standing here, then I can't, like, I just don't have the time to make this distance and make up the other distance to still hit the trade, right?
Question.
Yes.
What about this? I feel like I already know what you're gonna say, but against Zed specifically, there is maybe I'm wrong, but there is a reason to stand in the way because his Qs deal less damage. Should I even think about that, even if I'm in that specific like matchup, or should I just default to just doing exactly the same thing no matter what the matchup is?
Something to talk about surrounding melee matchups specifically, right?
Okay.
Against melee matchups, you really want to punish them, right?
Yep.
Otherwise, you're gonna get punished. You
Yes.
want to try to avoid. You want to like tether them, which is a topic you're familiar with, I imagine.
Yep.
Okay. You want to tether them to make sure that you're still in your range, but they're slightly outside of their range. you want to
Yes.
like with melees, you really want to abuse the fact that they need to go for CS. If they like, if you're standing here outside of the wave, and this is a Zed that wants the cannon, if he's moving towards you even slightly, you can just move back, right? You can keep the tether, right? If he's moving
Yep.
towards the minion again, you can move along, right? Because either he's gonna Q the minion and get the CS, or he's gonna go on you, which is the same topic as this Ari, right?
Yes.
It's the exact same concept with Zed, where
Okay.
if he's gonna go on
Okay.
you, it's gonna be visible. One,
Okay.
he's gonna miss the CS for sure. 100% he's gonna miss the CS, and there is a 50-50% chance that he's hitting you, right?
Okay.
If he
Yes.
misses you, he's doomed for like he's not going to be able to get any CS for the next 6 seconds because that's his Q cooldown,
Yes.
and he's not going to be able to do anything for the next 16 seconds or longer. I'm not sure how long
Yes.
his W cooldown is, but I think it's somewhere around 16.
It's like 15 to 20, somewhere around there. I'm not sure. I don't really keep
Yeah,
track of those
it
things.
doesn't really matter like how long it is.
Yeah.
But if we
Yeah.
just like think about that, right? Like this minion, okay, he doesn't kill this minion. He's on cooldown. He doesn't get this minion. He doesn't get this
Yeah.
minion. Wave's pushing into you. Next,
Yeah.
like next wave, what's gonna happen? You know, is he gonna like WEQ you again? What's happening
Yeah.
if he misses it? Right? Like that's kind of the idea.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's possible that early on you randomly die because of this. Um, you kind of just need to like get better at it.
Accept that. Yeah.
Like,
I just need to accept the deaths as like a signal that I
yeah,
need to work on it more.
yeah, it like it sucks, but sometimes you just gotta push your limits, and part of that is making mistakes regularly, right?
So I should not treat necessarily deaths by limit testing as a signal that I should stop. It should more so be a signal that what I'm doing is
Um,
what I'm trying to accomplish is
have
like
we
assuming I am going for it.
have we talked about the 5 death rule?
Yes, I think hit low. You and I haven't specifically talked about it, but
Okay.
I've been in the conversations with hit low like over
Uh-huh.
texts where he says basically there's like a 3 bucket of deaths for lane and then there's a 2 bucket for mid game.
Yeah, essentially, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I like to personally call them the limit test deaths for the first 3, right? The
okay.
first 3, just play as best you can, get every possible trait, every possible CS, do everything, right? And
And then if I reach 3,
if you get reach 3 deaths, better make sure you don't die again. You know,
okay.
like so
Is
essentially.
it fine? Is it fine? Okay,
Go ahead.
let me. Sorry that I interrupt. Sorry that
It's
I
fine. It's fine. It's fine.
interrupt.
It's fine.
Yeah. Excuse me if I'm being rude. Like
It's okay. No,
I'm really
no issue.
sorry.
No issue. No offense
Yeah,
taken.
but so if I understand what you're saying,
Uh huh.
if let's say that instead of like if we would scratch everything that you see there on the KDA score, just scratch everything and just add instead just tally up like 3 deaths.
Uh huh.
Would it be fine for me to play in this sort of way, like reserved? Still going for trades sometimes, but I'm mostly focusing on just hitting the benchmarks, making sure I never die. Is that
Are you
fine?
talking about at 3 deaths?
Yes. As soon as I like I've let's say that before
Yeah.
this
Okay.
point,
So
like
let
this
me
point.
kind of like I'll continue about that, but like that's gonna be answered with what I'm gonna say. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. So the first 3 deaths, like 0 to 3, you're just gonna limit
Yes.
test. You're gonna push yourself as far as you can do. You might die. You might not. You might get random solo kills. It'll happen.
Yes.
Once you hit
Yes.
3 deaths, you move into the other part, which is 4 to 5 deaths. Start thinking about any possible way where your opponents can get a random cheese kill on you. Start actively thinking and considering what any possible ways that your opponent can, like in some dumb way, kill you. If you're on a side
Okay.
lane, make sure that there's no enemy camping in this bush killing you randomly. If you're running through your jungle and the enemy is like ahead, don't walk like this. Walk like a really safe route into top lane.
Yep.
Actively start thinking, oh, what dumb cheesy way could my opponent like kill me randomly?
Yes.
Could they be camping in this bush, in this bush, in this bush, right? Yes, they could,
Yes.
unless you see them on the map. So let's go at a ridiculously safe route. We just make sure that that any cheesy death our opponent can give us, we avoid. Why? Because we're not allowed more than 5 deaths, right? So we better make sure we don't die when we're at 3 deaths because we only have 2 deaths left, right?
Gotcha. Okay. So basically,
apart from that, what you were specifically asking about,
yes.
when you hit 3 deaths, it's pretty much the end of laning phase every time. Like, so that's like a question that's like, yeah, it doesn't really need to be answered. It like that situation will just like pretty much never come up.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yes. So I just need to limit test more.
Yes. So these like first 3 deaths, you just push yourself to your utmost limits. You try to hit every possible goal, which means punish every CS, hit every CS yourself, never die to the jungler. If the jungler comes up, just 2v1 them, hop, like just bump, you know?
Yes.
And if you die for it, sure, it happens. We're gonna come back, we're gonna push ourselves again. We die, sure, happens. Gonna push ourselves again. Happens for a 3rd time. Okay, let's refocus. Let's really make sure that we don't die for stupid things. And this second part is really useful for multiple reasons, right? First off, you train into making sure you don't die for no reason. That's good in itself. Secondly, once you notice, you know, often when you're behind, you might notice that certain areas are very dangerous, and it would be very easy for your opponent to sit in that bush, camp there, and kill you.
Yes.
An example of that bush would be this one. Another example would be this one in front here. Another example would be this one here or this one here, right? These are all great examples. Once you realize like how dangerous those bushes are, and you're the one ahead, all of a sudden all those like tricky
Reverse
cheesy
engineer.
bushes, right? Yeah, exactly.
Reverse engineer. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is doubly good. Yeah.
Gives me intuition for where I could stand against my enemies.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think I know what I need to do. I just need to embrace the pain.
Oh, write that down as well. So 0 through 3 deaths, limit test. And then 4 to 5 deaths, avoid any possible cheesy.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. Do you have any questions surrounding this or anything you wanted to like ask about or anything?
By the way, I want to apologize again for the earlier joke I made. It was tasteless. I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
That's good.
Yes, but
so it's one of the things that we just really don't support as Resolve. Like, yeah.
Yes. I get it. But as for this, no, I don't really have any other questions. It's pretty much clear. I just need to stand to the side of the wave more.
Yes.
And
I mean, you need to do a lot of things more, but you'll find, like, I think this like lift of the curtain on like the second part of stage 2. Second part from like the Bruce Lee analogy, like etc. Right? Like I think this lift on the curtain of like how it can be more than just punishing your opponent. I think that will probably guide you upon like experiencing a lot of things and like finding out a lot of things surrounding it, and will probably guide you towards a point where it'll be just easy again, right?
Yes.
I personally don't expect that it'll be too challenging for you, but we'll just have to see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, in regards to like, I'm looking forward to like hearing how everything goes. I should be slightly more free like this March. I am gonna reduce my coaching, which is positive for my like regular like students because when I'm reducing my coaching, I'll be reducing my coaching for just like random people who I haven't coached yet. But when it's like more specific people like yourself, like Magic Light, like Kali, or Daniel, like people like that, like those are sessions that I can just do whenever. So yeah, because in March I'll be quite busy for the first 4 weeks because I'll be in Ireland with my girlfriend, which will be very fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Really looking forward to it. So yeah.
Sounds fun.
It is going to be.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's going to be.
So yeah, no. This, and also I need to stop using F keys. Stop trying
Good
to
one,
like
good one.
stop. Yeah. Stop
Using
using F
keys.
keys. Don't like think about intent.
Yeah, make everything as simple as possible, right?
Make everything simple, but at the same time, push yourself to do more. Like it's like both.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Push yourself to do more within the simple like mark.
Within the simple things. Yes.
Like push yourself to hit the goals, but like yeah, that's it, right? Like you don't need to do anything more than hit the goals. Just hit the goals, man.
Fuck.
Like now you can also like, by the way, like this is also useful, right? Because now you can also look at your own replays and actually see, because this is the way how you look at your replay, right? And like you check for stage 2. This is the exact way. I'll show you. Okay, this man didn't trade. Okay, this man. Let's see if I'm gonna trade. That wasn't a trade. Okay, I didn't trade. This man. Okay, didn't. This man. No. This man. No. Okay.
No, didn't trade that.
That's how you check. That's how simple it is. You just look and you're like, okay, this one. Okay, I moved forward. Like that was okay. That was okay. You forced R to use Q. That was pretty good. Like I'd be satisfied with that one. But like, yeah, you can see.
Though.
You can see. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. So, if we say it like this, if I'm fully like 100% honest with myself when I do the review, and I go through the same process like you just showed me right now.
Yeah.
If I notice that I'm able to do it consistently, on like let's say like just 6 minions every wave, obviously 7 every third wave, but let's say like on like out of like the 6 minions, I do it like maybe 4 or 5 minions.
Yeah.
Potentially maybe sometimes 6s. Like
I sometimes
like do it
like
on every minion.
That's like perfect, right?
Okay. Is that like a go ahead? Is that like a go ahead signal for me to then message you and be like, hey,
so
okay, I think I'm like getting the hang of it.
I mean, the go ahead signal for you is whenever you feel like you're either stuck or you've just got it.
Yeah. No,
but like in regards to like this type of stuff, essentially the go ahead would be when you don't feel any resistance anymore. But apart from that, like if you would message me in like 2 weeks, like for a session in 2 weeks, that should probably be fine.
Yes. Okay. No, but yeah. No, I have no other questions. I have nothing else to add. I think you.
Yeah, like honestly, by the way, like the question of when should I ask for a new session is honestly one of like the most difficult ones to answer. Because in a way, right? In the way, it's just like whenever you want.
Yeah. True.
But like,
at the same time,
yeah.
At the same time, like I don't want to be rude, like because I.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
want
like
to obviously
it's
put
not
in
rude.
the effort.
It's not rude to me. So that's like it's not rude to any coach to like ask for a session. Obviously, they'll just tell you like, oh no, I'm too busy, so I'm not gonna like.
Okay.
And it's not rude to like ask anyways, stuff like that. But yeah, like again, if you could message me in like so if you could message me somewhere next week, then that would be perfect for the 9th. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Right.
Right then. But yes, I'll continue working on this, and I will just do the stuff.